back to the Life Unscripted podcast, living life unscripted since 2002.
With your hosts, Holly and Morgan. That's us. Okay, so our mics have been a whole rigmarole of a mess. Say that 5 times fast.
Literally.
Oh, flop.
Dang it. I pulled my mic out my shirt.
So our mics have been a whole rigmarole of a mess because in one of the last episodes they died and then we couldn't use the audio for that. So yeah, we apologize for that, but I think we got it a-okay now.
Prayers.
Anywho, in today's episode we're going to be talking about generational trauma and secure, anxious, and avoidant attachment styles because obviously your attachment style depends on your childhood, generational trauma, how you grew up, and things like that. So we're gonna smush the two together and talk about those two topics today, and hopefully some of you guys can get some tips, reassurance, anything like that. So we're gonna start off by talking a little bit about growing up, that whole situation, and a little bit of the generational trauma that we experienced, which I don't know if I would even call it like trauma.
Yeah.
It's just
Things that happened.
Things that happened that make us who we are today and have influenced our psychological patterns, if you will. So yeah, we are in no way complaining about our childhood or saying that our experience is worse than anyone or better than anyone. We're just saying our experience and how that has shaped us into who we are. Alright, I'll let you begin.
Okay. Alright guys, on my handy dandy notebook, I got notes for days.
No, it's 4 days.
A whole page worth. So, literally one of the first things I write down is my anxious attachment comes from childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Like that experience. Some things. I wouldn't say all of it because that's very like a deep loaded thing that happens. I feel as though my anxious attachment style comes from my childhood, obviously, and some of the experiences I've had growing up. Which obviously this isn't the only things. But this is just some of the stuff that's like on the top of my head of like when I think about why I am the way I am, of what I think caused some of it, like had an influence on the way I act and just who I am when it comes to this type of thing, or who I've been in the past and worked through it. So these are things that have happened when I was younger. One of the things I have is when when my mom is mad at me, she's quiet, or she'll ignore me, or she'll be short. And so that automatically has me thinking that if someone's texting me and they're being short, then they're mad at me. If I'm in a room and someone's being quiet, then they must be mad at me because I done did something to them and they don't want to talk to me. So that's one of the big ones. Like, it's not like, I guess it's a big one because it's still like, I've gotten better about it as I've gotten older, but yeah, it kind of resurfaced recently when all my anxiety has shown up in life, as y'all know. So the next one is always needing approval, and if my mom wasn't happy, then neither am I, which has me, goes into the anxious attachment style, because I've always tried to please her my whole life, and that's something I've had to get better about now in life, is you can't please everyone, and as long as you're happy, that's all that matters, rather than trying to please someone so that you're happy because they're happy. That doesn't do anything for you, except for make you depressed. And then the other one I have is walking on eggshells, so like never knowing like what my mom's mood's going to be when I get home, not knowing if I'd done something wrong, or if I was out having fun with my friends, my mom would text me and be like, you're in trouble, and then not tell me what I did, and I wouldn't know until I got home. So yeah, nothing to say that she's a bad parent at all, but sometimes she do be mean and not mean it.
She do be mean.
She do be mean and not mean it. And I've told her this stuff before, but I mean, what can you do about it?
The past is the past.
The past do be the past, and yeah, that's up to her to make it better in the future. But you know, also like you can't. My thing is your parents also have generational trauma that's been poured into them, which is why they treat you the way they were treated But my mom has done a hell of a job not treating me the way she was treated growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Because, oh my gosh, have you heard some of the stories this poor woman has told me? My God. So, yeah, she's a strong MFer as it is. This is just some of the stuff she's done to me that has caused the way I am. Anyway, for generational trauma, that's really about all I have. So I'd say she done a pretty good damn job. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I think both of our parents did an excellent job with what they were dealt. So, with me personally, I have a secure attachment.
Lucky.
The only avoidant trait that I could even pin to myself is valuing independence. And for me, this stems from my childhood and growing up without a dad in the home for most of my childhood. And that specifically, coupled with being an only child, has really taught me how to be independent and rely on myself, and having the mindset that I can do anything a man can do, and especially my mom always having to be independent. We didn't have any of her family around, so she was always on her own, and she didn't ask for help. She was never really comfortable with asking for help most times, and so she really showed me how to be independent and how important independence is. So yeah, that's kind of the only avoidant attachment trait that I have. The rest, I'm pretty secure. I'm not afraid of closeness, and I definitely don't have an anxious attachment at all.
Yeah.
So yes.
I remember the avoidant thing I had.
Oh, you have an avoidant trait?
One.
Oh, okay.
I think we might both. What? Sometimes. Not. I'll just say it first. The whole, like, whenever I get close to having a relationship with someone, like, I pull back. Because, like, it's too, like, I'm just like, because it goes in the anxious attachment style of, like, I don't want to give completely into you. Because if you pull back, then I'm hurt. So I'd rather pull back before you can hurt me. I feel like it kind of goes both ways, because it's like you're avoiding a relationship, but you're doing it out of anxiety. But I don't want to speak for you myself. That's how it is for me, at least.
Yeah, I definitely don't think it's as big of a deal as some people deal with it, because some people, no matter how hard they try, just cannot help but to pull back when they start getting close in a friendship or a relationship, whatever that may be. But I think it's more of past relationship trauma than it is like generational trauma for me.
100%.
And I don't think I was afraid of the closeness aspect, because I think avoidant or anxious is being afraid of the closeness. For me, it was not wanting a repeat of the past and not wanting to be hurt.
Yeah, same.
Like, that's a personal thing.
That's my problem now.
Yeah, I really don't think that's like a part of being avoidant or anxious. It might be, but in my opinion, I really don't think so. I think that's a part of past relationship trauma that's maybe like fed into, but I don't know. Ask the psychologist.
Literally. I'm not your therapist.
So let's hear a little bit about your anxious attachment.
Alright, I've already covered this one, but this is the first one I have written down, which is literally thinking someone is mad when they're quiet, uncomfortable in silence, which, like I've said before, this is something I thought I had overcame. The past few years I've been fine, but then when my anxiety came to the surface, which y'all already kind of know about, which I've said before, it really, like, reopened that, like, thing I, like, pushed back, because that's been a trauma response my whole life, is I just push things behind me and don't work through them. And then, yeah, I don't know if I already told y'all about that, but the whole universe thing where I'm like, if I have anything blocking me from, like, my highest self, or, like, anything I've been wanting, like, let me resolve that now. Yeah, universe said, cool, here you go, bud. Because that's all I've been working through now. Which I'm happy about it, because I'm gonna come out stronger on the other side. Dang it. Anyway, so yeah, the uncomfortable in silence thing, because like, I'm a very talkative person. I could talk all day, but that's not everyone else. Like, I'm my own person, and I automatically assume if someone doesn't want to talk to me, it's because they're mad at me. But then I like sit there and I'm like, something that's helped me in that is I'll put it back on myself. Is if I'm not talking, am I mad? No. So why the hell am I sitting here automatically assuming that when someone else isn't talking, they're mad? Because I'm like, okay, so how's that fair to them? They have to sit there and talk 24/7 until they have nothing to talk about, and you're gonna think they're mad? That's dumb. But I mean, it is part of the anxiety thing. But yeah, that's what's helped me a lot, is just realizing, like, if I'm not talking, I'm not mad. So I can sit here and be like, Morgan's not talking to me. She's freaking mad at me. So I gotta go to my room and cry now because she's mad. Okay, so that's one of them that's been recent. This one's not recent at all. This is one that's happened to me in the past. Constantly checking phone for notifications to make sure everything is okay. That's toxic, my friend. It's very toxic of you.
Yeah.
Like,
in a past relationship.
same. All the time, bro. Like, constantly checking for notifications. Like, literally, like, if it's been like 30 minutes and I haven't got a response yet, I'm like, and then that goes.
That's been recent though too. You said it hasn't been recent, but you said like you've done that to me. Like when I haven't answered all day, and then you got anxious at work.
Oh yeah. Don't tell your friends, guys. Yeah, that is true, because it went from a past relationship, and then that's a trait that resurfaced when all this anxiety started coming up. That's crazy. Yeah, but then I realized, then another thing I had to realize is, for one, we're not together. Two, you don't owe me shit. You don't owe me a text. I can literally, that's another thing, is like, I ignore people all day long. All day long, every day. Like, literally, if you check my snap right now, it's probably like 20 hours ago. Like, I'm sorry if you snap me, because, oh my god, I suck at responding. I'm like, do I respond to people immediately? Meow. So are they mad? Am I mad? No. Now, if I leave you on red for 3 days straight, I probably don't want to talk to you at all. So take a hint. But I don't do that to anybody I actually talk to. So, if I was mad, I'd freaking tell you. That's the same with you. If you're mad, you're going to say something. You're not just going to sit there and say, I'm ignoring your snap all day.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I have a lot of experience with anxious attachment styles due to the fact that not only Holly, but my old boyfriend had a lot of the traits that Holly has talked about and is going to talk about in this episode, especially with the not texting back thing. For example, if I would go 30 minutes without texting him back, even though he had my location, he would blow up my phone and be like, why are you not answering me? Why are you not texting back? And unfortunately, that is a really huge thing with anxious attachment styles, and again, generational trauma. And he had a lot of abandonment issues, which is why that anxious attachment unfolded itself onto me, because he was afraid of being abandoned. And unfortunately, that's not okay. So,
At all.
yeah.
Which is why I've told Morgan 1,000 times, don't feed into that stupid shit. Like, I don't care. Ignore me for freaking 24 hours if you want to. It's crazy. The other concept, my biggest thing is, like, even if we didn't live together, for one, we live together, so it's already 1,000% different. If there's something I texted you about, needed a freaking answer about, that it mattered that much, for one, I'm not going to snap you about it, I'm going to text you about it. Two, if it's not urgent, this crazy concept is I'm going to come home at the end of the night, and I'm going to see you in person.
Yeah.
Like,
and I always tell everyone, because most of my friends and even my boyfriend and I text on Snapchat, but I tell everyone, if you need me, text me on text message, because then I will see it and I will respond.
Because that's the uncle about Snap, is all I see is your name.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if it was urgent, then I would click on it, but it's not urgent.
Yes. Or like a text snap Like, I will answer that.
Or I'll have swipe your ass.
Yeah. But Snap, I'm not answering that. I will not open it.
Yeah. Especially when it's just a random picture of your face or something.
Yeah, at least one business day. I'm not.
That's
not
like literally the stuff like me and you'll snap each other back. Because like for one, if we're gonna have a conversation we're having in person, if I'm at work and you need to talk to me, then it's gonna be through like the text feature, not snaps back and forth. If it snaps back and forth and we're in the middle of a conversation, that's totally different. But if the snap I just sent you is just a picture of my face, then what's the urgency of being like, I gotta know what you just sent me? Excuse me. Who cares? And my thing is like also I'm at work all day. I can't even be on my phone. So if you need to talk to me, obviously send the text.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something I've easily like I've been better about like especially the past few weeks. I'd guess the past month or so because it has not been like that like at least a month now. Then yeah, like it's just to me it's ridiculous. Like how am I gonna sit here and assume someone's mad over not texting me all day, especially like I'm not like that to any of my other friends. It's like a trauma response, I guess, because like it's like I get close to someone if they're pulling. I feel like that's a pullback, or felt like they're pulling back. Oh my god, like me and you're not gonna be friends anymore. We're not friends. Like you don't have an urgency to talk to me all day anymore. That means we're not friends, even though I see you every day.
I don't know if this would be in the anxious attachment category, but in 8th grade, I had this boyfriend where whenever we would go home and we were home from school, he would make me like stay in the chat to text him for like hours. Like I could not do anything else but like be in the chat and text him unless I was like actually doing something like showering, eating, watching YouTube, like whatever. I would have to be like in the chat texting him. And I'm not kidding either.
That's gotta be an anxious attachment. That's deep rooted shit.
I mean, his parents were drug addicts, so
poor buddy.
And he's on drugs now too. Yeah. As I heard like 3 years ago. I don't know now. But 3 years ago, yes.
Dang.
But yeah. So I don't
Generational
know.
trauma.
Oh yes.
Poor buddy. Yeah, mine's nothing like that. That's wild.
No.
That's crazy wild. I would never expect someone to sit on their phone like that. I don't expect someone to text me back within an hour. Like, I'll move on from this one because I could ramble and ramble and ramble. Paying close attention to words and body language.
Yeah, I think that's one thing you do that to me. You do that to me.
You can't say
You
that.
do that.
You do that to me every day, and I can't stand you for it. Leave.
No, but sometimes my boyfriend will do that if I have like a solemn face or if I'm not like cheery sometimes for an extended how dare I not be cheery for an extended amount of time. Then he'll be like, "Are you okay? Are you mad? Are you sad?" And I do that to him as well. Like if he is feeling down, which most of the time I can like feel his energy and I'm like correct and something is wrong. So I wouldn't specifically say that's an anxious attachment, but for him, sometimes he says that when nothing is wrong and we'll just be having downtime or I'll just have my resting face. I don't know. But yeah, I've seen him do that and then you as well thinking that I'm mad if I'm quiet or if I'm just on my phone and
you're just chilling.
Yeah, just
you're chilling in your own damn house. Just like, or then that one.
Oh.
You have to be on my lap, buddy.
Buddy does. Buddy really does.
Come on, buddy. Buddy. Like literally, I'll do this. I literally can't even lie. I've literally done that like this week. And I'll literally be like, I'll be about to leave for work, and then, obviously, you know, you're chilling. What else you're gonna do? Get up and do cartwheels? And I'll be like, wonder if Morgan's okay. I haven't asked her in a while. Dang, I'm a terrible friend. Like, I will literally spiral. And I'll be like, I'm a bad friend. I should have asked her if she was alright. But I'm like, she was just chilling. She was just on her phone. I was like, she told me she's not okay. I was like, how will I know?
Ripping yourself to shreds.
Oh, every time. Then I start spiraling. And I was like, no. I'm not doing that.
No.
And then that's when the whole phone thing would have played in, where I'm like, hey, she's ignoring me. Maybe she is mad. It's crazy. And then I'm like, let's be real quick, honey. There's nothing wrong.
There's nothing wrong.
There's nothing wrong.
Big said, what is
Said,
wrong
stop
with you?
screaming.
You just got manhandled. Alright, next.
Okay.
Or you didn't actually get your part out. I just said how I relate.
Yeah, I mean, I literally agree with it. The words and body language thing, like, that was not how that's how it related into the last one of the phone thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm like, let's stop with assuming. That's another thing, that's assuming negatively, when I could just assume positively. And literally, the whole reason I don't, like, I don't go, are you okay? Because for one, like, if you weren't okay, it'd be more noticeable than you just fucking watching TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Two, I need to stop beating the shit out of myself because I didn't ask you if you were okay. Because for one, that could also be annoying. If I'm constantly like, you're just chilling watching freaking TikTok, I'm like, are you okay? Are you mad at me?
Mm-hmm.
Then you're like, no shit, the fuck did you do? And then I'm like,
Yeah.
So then that is about to go into this new one of what I used to do in my past relationship, is constantly apologizing even though you didn't do anything. And it's just apologizing because you think you might have done something, you don't want them to be mad at you, so you're just like, I'm sorry, and then they're like, what are you apologizing for? Which is another trauma of why I won't constantly ask you if you're mad, or if it's okay, or if everything's alright, because I've done that in the past, which runs people away, because if there's nothing wrong, why are you bothering them constantly like, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you mad? Did I do something? Everything's not about you. Like, which is something I realized literally like 2 weeks ago, it means you're just like, you don't have like much self-confidence, like when it comes down to that. It's just like, if I was more confident within myself like I used to be, or thought I used to be, turns out I just pushed it behind me, then I wouldn't worry about that type of stuff. Like, you wouldn't worry if someone's mad at you. If they're mad at you, they'll come to you and tell you. Like, you wouldn't worry if someone's ignoring you. They have things going on in their own life. Like, it's not, like, that's how I feel about my snaps. Like, I don't snap you back because for one, or not even just you, just anyone. Like, if I don't feel like it's urgent, or, I don't know, I'm at work and I can't even be on my phone. So, it's not like, you don't sit there and take it personally. Like, there's no point. So.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a part of my secure attachment, is like, if ever I say something, or I think I said something that hurt someone, odds are that they're gonna show signs, and so I don't worry about it. Mm-hmm. Because most of the time, if I say something in a mean regard, I know immediately after it comes out of my mouth that I'm like, maybe they took it this way when I meant it this way. Mm-hmm. Or things like that.
Yeah.
But I don't worry about it ever.
Worry and tweak.
Tweak.
You gotta tweak out and worry yourself to death to the point you're sick, and now you're anxious and spiraling, and now you're worried about something else. And then you cry and die.
Oh, you know.
Anyway, so yeah, the constantly apologizing thing, that's something I did in my past relationships where I would like apologize constantly because that person's pulling back.
Apologizing for your emotions too.
Literally.
Apologizing for being too loud. Apologizing for being annoying. Apologizing for talking about your emotions because you think you've talked about it too much. Like, it literally doesn't matter what emotion it is. Like,
whoops.
I don't think I could name an emotion that you haven't apologized to me for.
Oh, trauma, guys. Morgan has to deal with my traumas. Poor Morgan.
That's crazy.
Poor Morgie. But it's okay, because I appreciate you being so patient.
Oh, yes. So what do you think that stems from? Like, apologizing for your emotions, specifically.
My mother.
Like your mother shutting down your emotions?
Uh-huh. If I start crying, I'll give you something to cry about. Go away, you're being annoying. That's siblings. That's siblings for you. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm just chilling out, laughing around something. You're being annoying. Shut up. Like, it's just like teenage shit.
Do you think specifically it was your mom?
I would completely say it's her. I feel like it's her, like, childhood experiences, like, school. Not now school. Now in school, everyone thinks I'm freaking most funny thing ever. Like, I am everyone's entertainment. Everyone at work thinks I'm the funniest thing ever. I'm like, boy, I don't try to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
I just speak.
I just speak.
I just speak. I'm just me.
So, but you didn't answer my question, really.
What's the question?
Why is that a thing? So, just a bunch of external factors?
Yeah, just being called annoying my whole damn life. Because, like, my haters, they don't like me, and they call me annoying.
Yeah. And then your mom shutting down your emotions. Those are the two big ones.
I'll give you something to cry about.
Mm-hmm.
This was a huge thing in a relationship. Needing to be around that person to feel okay.
Yes. Oh my god. Yes.
Because when you're in person with that person, you can tell they're not mad at you. But if you're down the road 5 blocks away, you're not here. You don't know what they're saying behind your back. They might be mad at you. They might hate you. They might be talking shit. They might be just chilling. They might anything. But I can't tell because I'm not there.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say my old boyfriend, he would constantly be like, well, I haven't seen you, so I just need to be in your presence to know that things are okay. Or, I haven't seen you in 3 days. I need to be with you to reassure myself that things are okay. I can only say so much, but he has to be in my presence to know that things are okay. Which is, like, strange to my mind because I'm not like that at all. Like, of course I would miss you, but I could be without a person for, a long time because I don't have an anxious attachment style, and that's just not how my brain is wired to think.
Mm-hmm.
But people with abandonment issues and parental trauma, I can see how that affects you negatively.
Mm-hmm.
And how you would need to be in that person's presence because people do lie about how they feel, and you never truly know when you're just texting about it sometimes because, I don't know, text just has no emotion most of the time.
Exactly. You can't, like, you can read it in whatever tone you think. But, like, literally I could read something and it just be, like, a bland-ass sentence. And I'm like, great. They're mad.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why are they mad? Why? How do you know that these... How do you know that that's what they were trying to say? Probably the most likely case is they weren't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you think someone's being rude in a text, just for one, ask about it. Communication's key, buddy. And then that's, like, another one is, like, literally when I first moved down here, like, I would go home more often because, like, I did have an attachment to my family, which, duh, they're your family.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Me
like,
as well.
Like, as time has went on, like, it's not that, like, prominent. Like, it's whatever. Or, like, I had an attachment to, like, my friends, like, that are out of town. And, like, now it's not near, like, that at all. Like, I could go 6 months without seeing them. Like, we'll pick up where we left off. Like, it's not like oh my god, I need to see them, like, each month. Or, like, we're not friends anymore. Like, it's not that deep. And then, like, back in, like, March, or maybe, like, yeah, it was March, because that's how long it's been since I went home. Like, literally, like, I went home for, like, 1 or 2 nights. And then I'm sitting here worried that, like, maybe I did something while I was gone, so you had to be, like, aggravated with me or something.
I have fear of missing out, and you're doing all these things without me, so now I'm mad.
Morgan hates me. I went to the pool without her. You're going to hate me this weekend because I'm going to be having fun at the pool. And Morgan's going to hate me. Now I don't have any friends. My only friend is gone.
You got Binks?
Not if you leave.
Oh, true.
My next point, which I now realize is being crazy, is stalking location, checking Snap activity to see if you're being ignored. Which I was so bad about this stuff that literally my ex would literally turned off his Snap, like, just for me. Everyone else could see it. Which then that triggered me. I said, everyone can see your Snap, and I'm your girlfriend, and you won't even let me see your freaking location? And he's like, no, because you don't need to, because you're being toxic about it.
That was another thing my old boyfriend did with his anxious attachment, was constantly checking my Snapchat activity, and if I would get on Snapchat and not text him back for whatever reason, then he would text me and be like, why are you on Snapchat but can't text me back? Or he would check my location on like Life 360, and if I would leave a place and not tell him, he'd be like, why didn't you tell me you left? Or if I would get home and not tell him, he'd be like, why didn't you tell me you got home safely? Or stuff like that. And unfortunately, that type of behavior can definitely run people away.
Yeah.
And
As it should.
yeah.
Let someone live. And then that just made me remember something else. Is like, if I would check his location and he was somewhere like he wasn't home and he didn't invite me to go, then it's a personal attack. Is you don't want to spend time with me anymore. You don't love me because you don't want to spend time with me. And I'm like,
Yeah.
girl, people can do things about you, they don't hate you. I hate to tell you. I promise you. They're not mad. They're chilling and living life. But yeah. The next one was matching someone else's emotions. Which for me was like more of a toxic thing of like, if their energy was down, then I'm immediately like, just over it. Like, okay, like you want to be all mean and you want to act like there's a problem, so I'm assuming there's a problem now. So I'm going to sit here and be a pouty and crybaby.
And I personally would never say that I have an anxious attachment, but I definitely would say I deal with that specific thing on an energetic level. For example, if you're sad and crying, then I'm sad. If you're angry at someone, then I'm going to be angry at someone. If you're in a really happy, energetic mood, I'm going to be in a really happy, energetic mood. And your specific emotions that you're dealing with are going to flood into me, but it's more on an empathic and energetic level for me. It's not about, well, you're feeling this way, so I have to feel this way too, type of thing. It's not in a toxic way at all. It's just I can't help it, and you can definitely do things to try to combat that when you're in big groups per se, or honestly for me it only really happens when I really deeply care about the person or we have a deeper connection. So, but I've never really done that in a toxic aspect.
Yeah, I agree. I do the same. I do both. But I'm trying to get rid of the toxic side of that. Because the positive side is not a problem at all. That's normal. That's being an empath. Like, I've always been a very, big empath.
Oh my god, okay.
Gosh, Jesus. I've always been very empathetic of others, but that's not a bad trait. A bad trait is, you're mad, now I'm gonna sit over here and pout and be sad because you're mad. And you're not mad about anything about me, it's just I'm taking it personally. I feel like the bad part can come when you're surrounding yourself with toxic people, so then you're constantly down. Because some people's energy, I didn't realize this until I met you and you brought that up. Of I definitely pay attention to people's energy as well, and if they're being down in the freaking dumps about just bad energy in general, then all of a sudden it kind of triggers my anxiety lately. If you have bad energy and I get anxious around you, that's a major red flag.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important to surround yourself with people who uplift you and who do carry that positive energy. And if you hang out with people who are constantly in a negative headspace, then that's going to flood into your emotions and that's going to affect how you feel day to day. And that's why everyone always says, be careful who you surround yourself with, because it's real.
Yes.
It's important.
And then, I don't know if I've already talked about this one, but I think I did. It was the hanging out without someone means they don't need you anymore. Or if someone can do something without you means they don't need, you're not needed, per se. Or if someone I think I literally told you this back when I was really going through it. You getting back with someone means that I'm no longer needed because now you have someone else, and so you don't need me as much. So now I'm going to be all pressed and sad, and I'm going to pull back so I don't get hurt.
And with that, you started to resent my old boyfriend because he was showing all of these traits of having an anxious attachment from his abandonment issues and from his generational trauma and parental trauma. Every time he would show one of these signs or do something to me and I would be like, he did this and it made me feel this way, it would make you resent him even more because you had dealt with that in the past and you know how it affects a relationship and you know how far it pushes people away, and so you started to resent him from that.
Yep, I didn't even realize I was doing it because I
Yeah.
balled all my stuff up and threw it behind me.
And then when you had that realization, I was shocked because I was like, I understand now. I get it. Like, I truly get it.
Like, I had built this wall of resentment for not only the things he's already, like, he was doing, but the things I seen from my past in him that I thought I worked through, but it turns out I just pushed it behind me.
Yep.
And now I actually am working through it. But yeah, so I was like, not only have you done made me mad about this, you're also doing this that's making me mad. So it's just like build. And then at one point I'm just like, okay, you need to leave. And I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna not talk to you, be fake to you, and you'll never know that I don't like you. Because I'm not gonna show you that, for one. Two, I gotta deal with you anyway. So guys, as you know, and you can see, the anxious attachment has been there. She do be there.
It's present.
She do be present in the room. But that's okay. We're working through her. So, because of that, I decided that I'd give you a few little tips on what I've done to work through this stuff and what I'm currently doing to work through it. So some things I've currently been doing is, well, my biggest one I've done is to not take things personally. Because chances are the things that you're anxious about aren't even about you. Automatically assuming someone's mad that doesn't do anything except for harm you.
And every time that I feel like I've said something that could possibly upset someone, I know immediately after I say it due to the way that they act or what they say. And I can immediately be like, well, this is what I meant. I didn't expect you to take it this way, but this is how I meant it.
Yeah.
And hopefully try to clear that up, because communication is huge when those types of things happen. And I think not communicating is the worst thing you can do.
Yeah, because then you're going to build all the resentment. And then you're going to have all this resentment on this person that they didn't even know they did anything. So now you're going to bombard them with all this stuff they apparently you didn't even know, and now that causes them to feel some type of way, and that shit blows up in your face.
Yep.
And you're like, oh man, communicate. Which all that's happened in the past that's happened to me has caused me now to communicate. For one, it's definitely a respect thing.
Yes.
If I don't communicate to you, probably because I don't respect you. But like, me and you literally, there's nothing that's like not heard of. Like, if I did something, I'm gonna know. If you did something, you're gonna know. Like, we're not gonna sit here and play the guessing game.
Yep. Because
all that causes is, for one, insecurity. Two, just feeling like, what's the point in this? Like, why be friends with someone who doesn't respect you, basically? Or why stay friends with someone you can't even respect? Why give them the time of day? Anyway, guys, so yeah, don't take things personally. I don't even take things, like, another one to not relate into, like, a relationship, like even a friendship or a relationship, would be like a coworker relationship. Like, if my coworkers want to be down and mad, or if they want to have a bad day, or if they're going to have a bad day. I don't think anyone chooses to have a bad day.
Yeah.
They want to have a bad day. If they're having a bad day, I'm not going to sit here and take it personally. Like, obviously something's happened in their life during the day that wasn't about me, so I'm not going to sit here and take it personally. I'm going to, for one, ask them if they're okay, ask them what they need, because if they don't need it, they don't want to be talked to, I will happily leave you alone. You can go over there, you can chill. Sometimes you just need that like, space, but don't take it personally. Don't automatically assume they're being quiet over there in the corner, they're mad at me.
Yeah, a big thing is to not take people's actions personally, because odds are they're having their own experience and there's nothing that you can do to help that or combat that. And so just don't take people's actions personally, because most of the time they're not doing it towards you.
Which leads into my other point of advice, which is everyone's life experience is different.
Yep.
And we're all on our own path, we're all doing our own thing, and my experience and anyone else's experience is not the same. And if it was the same, then life would be pretty dang boring.
Yeah.
Like, if we were all doing the exact same thing every single day, and all of us had the exact same experience in life, what a boring life
That'd
to
be
live.
crazy.
Alright, we'll go with my other one. One I've mentioned 1,000 times, guys. Meta-freaking-tation. Meditate. Meditating is the best thing I'll ever do for myself. You'll do for yourself. Anyone will do for yourself. I don't care if you say you don't have time. We've thought this before. We've said this before. You have time. 5 minutes is all you need.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, 30. If you go and sit and if say you're at work and you just need a second to breathe, go to the bathroom. Go in there and you do some breathing exercises. Because even that helps me so much at work when I'm feeling overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I swear. Or like when I'm about to get driving, like my car's causing me anxiety. Like I would sit there and breathe. Even if I'm literally driving down the road. Like meditation doesn't mean close your eyes.
Yeah.
Like you can meditate. Like just breathing helps.
Mm-hmm.
Like it'll be all kind.
There are also breath work exercises on YouTube that you can teach yourself and do anytime you feel anxious.
Mm-hmm. Definitely meditate. Like even just searching up like anxious attachment meditation, anxiety meditation.
Yep.
Like, and that's not even to say like there's meditation for everything.
Everything.
Literally anything and everything you can think of. Inner child healing.
We are
oh my.
Spokespersons for meditation.
Literally,
Oh my God.
we need a sponsorship for meditation. Like, oh my. And then something I learned from therapy, which just in therapy in general will help you a lot if you're anxious attachment.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that one before I even get to the actual point.
Absolutely.
Get you a therapist that actually cares about you and wants to know about you, and they will actually help you work through your problems rather than just figure it out yourself.
Or settling for the first therapist you come on.
And then realizing or settling and then saying therapy doesn't work.
Yes, just because you get a crappy therapist your first round. It took me 2 tries.
Me too. Guys, my first one, she was a little stupid. That's gonna fool me, but she was foolish. She literally told me that the way to combat my anxiety for my car, which is about my car, not the car not starting.
Mm-hmm.
The car doesn't start. This crazy thing called jumper cables and a new battery. Like I don't have an anxiety about that.
Mm-hmm.
I have anxiety about the motor malfunctioning and then now it don't work.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this whole one tell me go start the car up, turn the air conditioner on. Girl, you go start the car up. I didn't say the starter was going out and I was worried about the starter going out. I just go buy a new starter.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I am just thankful that on your second try you found someone that you love and who you get along with really well and who actually can help you work through everything that you talk about.
I've literally had 5 freaking visits and I already feel so much better than I did at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because I was tweaking out when I first went to her. And now, like, slowly, like, life's getting there.
Slowly but surely.
And literally what she told me in the beginning is her plan with every new client she gets is that one day she hopes that you're somewhere where you don't feel like you need therapy anymore. Which obviously that could take years, that could take months, that could take decades.
Mm-hmm.
But that's her goal. And I'm like, I love that goal.
That's beautiful. I love that.
She's great. Go girl. You need a therapist. I got you recommendations. But anyway, one thing she's really told me, that she has told me that has really helped is realizing that we're all human.
Mm-hmm.
We are all freaking human. Don't beat yourself up over an anxious attachment. Don't beat yourself up over an avoidant attachment. Like, having an attachment is not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's something you can work through. I feel like being fine with said attachment's a problem.
Yeah.
But
or not realizing
that
you're hurting someone because of your attachment.
Yes.
Because realization is the first step always.
Because, like, if you don't realize if someone doesn't tell you, I feel like that could be the problem. That's like lack of communication, but at the same time, like, it's not their problem to fix you.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're telling you themselves, so like, hey, you're doing this and it's bothering me, and you don't do anything to fix it, and you just refuse to realize it, then that's when the problem is.
Yep.
That's where the problem starts. But if you realize it, you realize you're doing it. Like literally, when I realized I'm doing these stuff, when I realized I was doing these things to you, I thought I told you, don't feed into that crap. I don't care. Do not, because that's not okay. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh my God, you're ignoring me.
Yep.
Ignore me some more, please. Ignore me some more, because obviously I got some problems personally that I need to work through. And if you're gonna ignore me, then good. I'm gonna get comfortable with it.
Yeah.
I'm not. Alright guys, so then I have my, this is how I view anxious and avoidant. So you got your anxious and you got your avoidant attachment, and up here is secure. So I feel like we're climbing this mountain to get to secure.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I started down in the pit of hell, and here's secure, and I'm like, here.
You're getting there.
We're almost there. but we still got some work to do.
And if you refuse to climb the mountain, what are you doing? Go to therapy.
Get your ass in therapy, please. Please.
Oh my God.
Please do the work. It is worth it.
Yes.
I don't care if you say you got time for it. I got time for it. You got time for it. If you knew my schedule, you're a piece of crap and you're lazy. Cause that's all I gotta say. If you don't want to work on yourself, then what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
You'll do it one day. Sooner's always better.
And you know what? I can say that I have a secure attachment, but that doesn't mean that I still don't have work to do to improve myself constantly, every day. There is work to be done, no matter what.
It doesn't be perfect.
Yeah, no matter even if you think you're perfect, you have work to do. I mean, everyone always does.
Yeah.
So,
nobody's perfect.
just be patient with everyone. Like, we're all going through our own experience, and patience is key. And if you really deeply care about someone, you don't have to be their therapist, and you don't have to solve their problems, but you can be patient and try to be sympathetic. So, yeah.
Yo. If you care about someone, show it.
So, if you made it to the end of the episode, please comment the mountain emoji so that we know you made it through. We are very curious to see how many of you all made it to the end.
Please.
And we will see you in the next episode. We hope you enjoyed it.